Okay, so for those of you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, hello to you guys. For those of you on Rumble, hello to you guys. Now, for those of you on Spreaker, hello to you guys. And for those of you on TikTok, hello to all you guys. Howdy doody, tutti fruities. Hopefully you guys are doing well, wherever you are in this world. You're having a good Saturday. I really do hope, I hope that for all of you. I really do. No, Christianity did not end in the first century because we're here. So, nope. Man, no, so but I appreciate the question. Okay, I am Bishop. Let's get a couple of fun-filled, exciting things taken care of. Thank you, Desiree. Thank you. Desiree, I haven't had a chance to even look on the messengers yet, but I'll try after the presentation. First of all, if you want to go to my website, it's bishopjameslong, LONG.com. bishopjameslong, LONG.com. That is my website. If you want to go to the church's website, it's easy too, usocc.org. usocc.org. And there we go. Now, a couple of businesses, we got business aspects we got to get to. Let's see, Arkansas Paranormal. I'm going to be at the Arkansas Paranormal Expo on October the 26th and 27th. So I'm going to be heading over there for the exposition and really for the expo. So I'm really looking forward to it. It is for a benefit for the MacArthur Museum of Arkansas Military History. That this building is on a national, historic National Register of Historic Places, and so it's a fundraiser for that. So I love that because I support our military men and women, those who are currently serving and those who have served. And I'm really looking forward to it. So make sure you get your tickets, guys, because I'm going to bring a lot of items with me. So I'll show a few of them tonight, and we'll discuss that. I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully you are as well. And also, I'm going to be this month in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I've got to. Let me check this here one more time so that I can make sure I don't mess it up. I'm trying to go into, there it is, Ashmore Estates. There it is. So Ashmore Estates is having an event, and it's going to be April the 19th. April the 19th, I'm going to be airing the show, the Paranormal, the Sacred Division show on Friday. I'm going to be airing that live. And I am so excited about that. I'm telling you what, I think it's going to be a really cool thing to see this. So if you have not purchased your tickets, you definitely need to do so. I'm trying to find view the history. I just had it. Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to find it where it is. There we go. Go to theurbaninvestigator.com. Theurbaninvestigator.com. Make sure you go to that website, and you'll see it. If you see events, click on the events. And it's right there, Urban Investigator events. And if you book now, so if you are available April the 19th, I don't know how many spots they have. I have no idea. But if you are in that area at Ashmore Estates, make sure you go to theurbaninvestigator.com. I'll put it in the chat so you guys can see it. Theurbaninvestigator.com. There you go. Yep, theurbaninvestigator.com. Make sure you put and get your tickets. Just scroll to events and scroll all the way down. Or not all the way down. Just scroll down to where you see Ashmore Estates and pick them. So that'd be pretty cool. I'm really excited about that. That should be a lot of fun. So that's going to be April the 19th, where we will be live at Ashmore Estates. And there's going to be a lot of investigators there too. So they're going to come on and talk about what they're seeing, and it's really cool. Very, very excited about it. Very excited. So that's the two events that I'm here for this upcoming year. And well, hello, I am going to be working on a couple documentaries relatively soon, and of course that will be the Gates of Hell Cemetery will be the first. And or perhaps maybe the urban, maybe Ashmore Estates. I don't know. Favorite Bible book I have. Really, that would be a tough. That's a tough one That is a tough one. I love Revelation. Matter of fact, I'm teaching Revelation now. I've taught it now. This is my third year in a row that I've taught Revelation. I think that Revelation is so misunderstood, and so I'm pretty passionate about teaching all the symbolism, what it means. So for me, Revelation is pretty important. But of course, I love the Psalms, and of course, the Gospels. But okay. Miss Wilma is not here today. Miss Wilma is with her family. So they're having a little get together. So she's out partying. She's out partying like a crazy girl. So she's not going to be here today. So it's just going to be me entertaining you for a little while. We'll see how far we go. Tomorrow, I want to remind you that, Psalms are great. Tomorrow we have Bible study at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. And you're more than welcome to join us. We'd love to have you. Yeah, this little, a couple of people are asking me about this, the little statue behind me. I wanted to share that. This was actually, back in the day, I thought it was really nice. There was an organization called GTN, and GTN did like a paranormal awards. And it was neat. I thought it was very, very clever. And I thought it was nice that they didn't have to do it, but they wanted to do it because they wanted to give back to the paranormal community. And so they put together some paranormal awards. And this was back in 2012. And what this award is the Humanitarian Award. I really thought that was incredibly cool. And so that to me, that was really nice. And so that's what I'll show you. That's backwards, but yep, that's what it is here. So anyway, I just thought that was really, really cool, and that was very nice of them to do. And they had all kinds. They had new investigators. They had new teams, the best team, best evidence. They had all kinds of things. And so I was apparently nominated for the Humanitarian Award. I thought, well, okay, that's fair. That's fair. So I've had this since 2012. And so to me, when someone does something like that, I don't just discard it and toss it in the garbage. I just think that would be so disrespectful. And so they took the time to do this. And I thought, you know what, if they're going to take the time to do this, then I'm going to make sure that I keep this forever and ever, never, never, never. So, but 2012, 12 years ago, pretty cool. Yeah, it's neat. I'll let you. Yep, pretty neat stuff, huh? So there we have it, the 2012 Humanitarian Award, and that was in the good old paranormal community. Because there's a lot of questions here. It's kind of hard to keep up with them. So people are asking me about I've talked about this. I'm getting kind of tired to talk about it, about the eclipse. It really is getting really stupid with all the conspiracy theories. Really, it's getting dumb now. It really, in my opinion, it's getting utterly stupid. I want to make this clear to everybody that people are, and I made a video about CERN. CERN is in Switzerland, folks. CERN, the collider turned on April the 5th, just yesterday. People are saying, "Oh, it's going to turn on April the 8th." No, it's not. That's a lie. Misinformation. It came on the 5th. Get over yourself. They had been out for a winter break, so they just came back actually in March. And so CERN, the collider, the particle collider, turned on April the 5th. That's number one. That's the first lie that people are spreading. That's number one. Number two. CERN has nothing to do with astronomy. But I don't know why people. CERN has everything to do with physics. That's what they do. They're dealing with physics. They don't do astronomy. CERN has nothing to do with astronomy. So that all this astronomy talk and all this CERN has nothing to do with the eclipse. Nothing at all, folks. Nothing. And then people, are spreading the nonsense that NASA is launching rockets. and high altitude planes. Well, duh, of course they're going to do that because they're scientists. They're studying the atmosphere, the ionosphere, on how a total eclipse affects both elements. Well, of course they're going to do that. The next one is going to be in 2044. So yes, yes, they're going to do that. And then, of course, the conspiracy theorists. Well, all the government agencies, so many government agencies are closing down. They're bringing in the National Guard. Yeah, of course they are, because it's going to be traffic. There's going to be so many people that's going to show up in the area where a total eclipse like Kentucky is going to be slammed with people. We're going to have so many people come to Kentucky to visit because we're going to have a total eclipse. It's overwhelming. The police can only do so much. So of course they're going to call Kentucky National Guard to help. Duh. I mean, really, it is just like, I don't understand stupid. I have a hard time understanding stupid. I really do. That troubles me deeply. So, if the Kentucky governor did not call out the National Guard, then he would be attacked and blamed for doing a terrible job when there's going to be an influx of amount of people coming into Kentucky and there's not going to be an order. You see, I think we've lost our ever-loving mind. We have lost our ever-loving mind in society. We have. People are falling for these stupid, idiotic conspiracy theories, hook, line, and sinker. It's dumb. It is. I'm sorry. It is retarded. It is unbelievably ignorant on a level that I can't understand. I can't comprehend that type. I cannot comprehend that type of ignorance. Can't do it. I'll have to fry my brain cells and only have two to actually be able to understand some of these conspiracy theories. I'm just telling you guys. And of course, again, all this nonsense, the schools are letting out. Well, duh, of course they're going to let out because they're going at 3:00. The eclipse is going to happen in Kentucky. School lets out at 2:30. So Einstein, let me give you a little hint. They're going to let out early because if they don't, it's going to be clogged roads and the kids won't get home until 9 or 10 o'clock at night or even later. You see what I'm saying? Is anybody else? Let me check. Check the chat. Is anybody else fed up with this crap? With this stupid? With the idiotic, unbelievably beyond dumb conspiracy theories? Is anybody else sick of it? Good. Okay. Good. So okay. Good. Bishop, now people are saying that the eclipse is April the 8th, and that our earthquake here in New York was 4.8. And that, well, here's what I'm going to say about the earthquakes. Okay, the earthquakes is quite possible. Now I'm in Kentucky, so I am in Kentucky, and it's very possible that an earthquake could happen with the New Madrid fault line. That's absolutely possible. No question. But that's not supernatural. That can be explained by using two brain cells to understand how planetary pull and gravitational pull of the moon could easily cause earthquakes on Earth. See, this to me, I don't understand the unbelievable ignorance. I don't get it. But so yes, when the full eclipse, when that happens, we're in Kentucky. I'm in Kentucky. The New Madrid fault line. We might have an earthquake. Sure, absolutely. That makes sense. Perfect sense. So I don't know. But anyway, there's I don't get it. I don't know why people are falling for this. So anyway, I'm going. Yeah, science and math. That's you're right. User 5043. Logic. What happened to logic? What happened to people thinking, okay, you know what? That really is stupid. That really is. Well, the National Guard is going to be sent out a violation warning. Oh my gosh! Look at this. Your live is flagged for hate speech and hateful behaviors. Wow, look at that on TikTok. So because I said that it is ridiculous. Wow. That is something. Isn't that interesting? Well, so for those of you who decide to turn me in on TikTok because I said it's ridiculous, all the conspiracy theories, someone actually turned me in on TikTok. You know, honest to God, there is so much that I could do on a Saturday night as clergy and as just as an individual who just needs some time off. And yet I come on here to try to talk to people, to chill people down, to relax people, and see when you do that. Yeah, we'll put subscriber chat only on. We'll put subscriber chat only on TikTok. As a matter of fact, what we should do is restart TikTok. So let me restart it. I'm gonna restart TikTok. Restart the live. Yeah, you have to restart because if you don't, then what happens is you will if you get dinged again, then you're banned. So some clown, some idiot who is one of those conspiracy theory jackasses, they actually reported my TikTok live because I have said conspiracy theories are getting stupid. And so that's the type of bullshit that happens on TikTok. And they allow these dirty, rotten, low-life, egg-sucking trolls to manipulate and cause problems and disruption on lives, and TikTok doesn't do a damn thing about it. Not a thing about it. But they'll punish people like myself who's trying to tell people to calm down, relax, this is stupid. See, they'll punish people like me, but they'll prop idiots up who are pontificating this bullshit about all these conspiracy theories. They'll place them on a platform, but then they report my life. You see, this is why TikTok has a problem. TikTok has got to fix this. Because if they continue to placate to the trolls, then creators like myself will say, the hell with this. I don't need the stress. And then we just say, we walk away from it. But that's what's happening on TikTok, because there really is no recourse for when an idiot reports your live for false report. There really is no recourse. There's no recourse. So, yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with you, Mercedes. I'm kind of getting tired of TikTok, only because they do a terrible job protecting the innocent and placating to the dirty, rotten, low life, egg sucking trolls, because that's what they are. So we'll see how long this takes to report this one. Okay, so I have subscriber chat only. Yeah, I put subscriber chat only on. So I'm just not going to put up with the trolls. They're so toxic. These people are so toxic. Yeah, but anyway. So yeah. So again, for those of you who are just joining us on TikTok, it's subscriber chat only. Subscriber chat only. So that's just the way it's going to be tonight. Yeah, welcome back. We're just talking to my friends there on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and Rumble, and Twitter. I'm going to keep calling it Twitter. I just can't call it X. It just doesn't sound right. It sounds weird. So I'm going to call it X. No. So all right. So yeah, Saturday night. Here we go. Welcome back, TikTok. Welcome back, subscribers. Only subscribers can chat. Well, thank you there. I appreciate you chatting. You are subscribing. And yeah, only subscriber chat on. So that's why you don't see me on TikTok. If you're not a subscriber, Jackie, you won't see me. Well, actually, you'll be able to see me. You just won't be able to chat. So I'm just not going to put up with it tonight. I'm not going to put up with it. So anyway, subscriber chat. You're a subscriber? Yeah, there's people here right now. I'm looking at people right now, Jackie. There's people in here. So you might want to refresh. And yeah, it's the people on here. We got 200 people in here right now. But people can watch. They just can't. They're not going to be able to chat in the chat room. So, okay. Yeah, you might have to restart it. Yeah, make sure you follow me on Rumble. That's important. Rumble, I'm really liking Rumble a lot, and so I'm kind of enjoying that. So make sure you go to bishopjameslong.com, bishopjameslong.com. Scroll down to where it says social media links, and then you will see where it says Rumble. And if you click on Rumble, there you go. So, yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm kind of liking that. So, all right, let's get into our Saturday show, even though we were briefly interrupted there. So we'll keep pushing through. Yeah, I've submitted it to TikTok on a complaint. So hopefully they will investigate who falsely reported that, and then hopefully we can get that person banned, because falsely reports, they're trying to fix it, but okay. Yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome. Oh, you know who it was? Well, I'm going to have to ban the person or block them. Yeah, we'll take care of that. We'll block them. So yeah, I'm not going to put up with that silliness. Okay, awesome. Here's a question for you. This is a really interesting, very interesting. I tell you what, I kind of like this. Lauren Can says this: can dogs see ghosts? What the science says. What do you guys think? Do you think that dogs are able, or even animals in general, are animals more sensitive? What do you guys think about that? Thank you, Joe. I'm curious about your cats. Yeah. So there's a lot absolutely saying yes, absolutely. Oh, your cats have? I think they can too. I really do. I absolutely believe that they can. Well, listen to this. This is quite interesting, and I wanted to pass this on to you. I've been believing ghosts before my cat's confirmed. Oh, wow. All right, Judy Ann. Well, listen to this, everybody. So this is from Lauren Can. And she says, as every pet owner knows, the spectrum of dog behavior can run the gamut from charming to slightly spooky. Dogs are extraordinary beings, in part because humans have been breeding them that way for the past 20,000 to 40,000 years. We've also studied their senses, answering questions like, can dogs see in the dark? And can dogs see color? Dogs can sense impending bad weather. That's absolutely. And they know when you're about to come home. That is fascinating to me. That is so true. Why is that? Do you think it's intuition? Like, for example, a dog will know when its owner has left work and getting all excited. I mean, that is crazy. If you really think about that for just a moment. Now, some people say, well, that's because they get they're programmed, they're trained, because they know every time at certain time of the day, but they don't have a concept of really time like we do. But I was at a friend's house not too long ago, and just kind of watching, because they were running to the store, and we were just hanging out talking about the theology and philosophy and some ideas about the seminary. And so he said, look, I got to run to the store real quick, grab something. And so, cool, I'll stay here and watch the dog. Now, he called and said, look, I'm on my way, getting ready to leave the store here pretty soon. And I said, the dog didn't hear the conversation. And I hung the phone up. That dog immediately got from the couch, went right to the door, and got really excited. Now, that to me that's amazing. How do they do that? I don't know the answer to that. We can theorize on this, but I don't know. I really honestly don't know, because this was not the normal time that my friend came home, from work. So you can say, well, a dog kind of knows because they have a certain, but the dog had no idea. So I don't know. I don't know. I tell you what, that to me, that strong intuition, that perplexes me. And I think that drives me crazy because I can't figure it out. But it has to be like intuition. So anyway, and they know when you're about to come home. But the question is can dogs see ghosts or even cats? So lots of people, including psychic crime solver Christy Robinette, believe they can, and so do I. Robinette shared a tale with Reader's Digest that may make even non-believers believe. So listen to this. And it says, we also posed the question to a number of dog experts, including doctoral level dog behaviorists and veterinarians. And here's what we learned. So this is a really cool article. I really like this because I love animals. When trauma therapist and spiritual expert Audrey Hope sees her dog behaving as if he's seen a ghost, she believes that he has. But underlying that is Hope's own belief in the paranormal. Before you get to the question of whether dogs can see ghosts, you first have to address whether you believe ghosts even exist. And that's common sense. Because obviously, if the question is do you believe that your dog can see ghosts, implies if you say yes, well, then implies that obviously means that you believe in ghosts. So it says that there's plenty of documentation that could support the notion that dogs can sense paranormal activity. It says Jesus Armendi DVM, a senior veterinarian for Chewy. But it's only meaningful to the extent that you believe in the paranormal activity exists and is capable of being sensed by the living. After all, there aren't any scientific studies that prove the existence of the paranormal. I don't know about that one, doctor. Okay, what is scientific experimentation? Scientific experimentation is when you can study something in a controlled environment in which there's absolutely no destruction of the evidence, and we do this as paranormal investigators. We do this. So when we investigate, we validate this through the equipment that we use, whether it be, I don't know, digital thermometers. It certainly cannot be explained away. I've caught EVPs that are apps Class A EVPs. I've played them before for you guys. So some of these Class A EVPs are absolutely phenomenal. So I think we have evidence that there's something there. Now, what that is, I don't know, but I think we do have scientific studies. We have this through, again, EVPs. We have this through digital thermometers. I did one time, I talked to you guys about this once, where I was at a house and they just had paranormal activity. And it wasn't violent or anything, but I prayed for the repose of the soul that was there. It was like 95 degrees. They didn't have an air conditioning unit. It was broke. It was so hot, and it was terrible. But we were in the living room where all the activity starts, or in dining room, kind of adjacent. And we all felt this this cold breeze start from our feet and go right up. And it was 95 degrees. And I measured this. I measured it. So 95 degrees. And I measured it on the floor. It was like 65. Now that's a 30-degree drop. Now that cannot be explained away. That was phenomenal. That was absolutely phenomenal. So back to the article. It says, that said, while science loves to debunk ghost stories, 45% of Americans believe in ghosts. Good. In other words, for slightly under half of all Americans, the question is can dogs see ghosts? Isn't whether ghosts exist, but rather whether dogs are capable of seeing them. So humans are much better than dogs at sensing colors and clarity. But dogs can detect movement far better than humans can, something that's especially true in low light conditions, says Jill Villarreal, who is a PhD, head of animal behaviors for the pet food company Open Farm. So if you believe in ghosts and subscribe to the notion that ghosts tend to make an appearance under the cover of darkness, then dogs would be in a far better position to see them than humans would. If you believe in ghosts and you're hoping to see one, consider visiting one of the most haunted places in America that says, listen to this. Dogs are naturally equipped with one of the best senses of smell in the animal kingdom. We know this. Dr. Armendi tells Reader Digest a dog's sense of smell, can you listen, can be 10,000 to 100,000 times more sensitive than humans. Now, that I did not know. But it's fascinating there's such a discrepancy there. 10,000 to 100,000. I guess it's depending on the breed of the dog, perhaps, but they are stronger. Dogs have a sense of smell 10,000 to 100,000 times more sensitive than humans. Thank you. I can't imagine that. So in that sense, dogs have ESP, extra smell perception. And if you believe in ghosts, then Dr. Amendi doesn't think it's a stretch to imagine the dogs would be able to perceive them via scent. Well, now that's interesting, isn't it? That's peculiar, because a lot of times, because I know this has happened to me, it's happened to Miss Wilma. Miss Wilma's father loved Old Spice. Okay, so Miss Wilma's dad loved Old Spice, and many times Miss Wilma will smell Old Spice. She'll smell it. Now she doesn't have Old Spice in her house at all, and her dad's been passed since over 20 years. So, but she will smell it. The same thing occurs with, I performed 31 exorcisms, 31. And I got to tell you something, every single time that I perform an exorcism, I will smell roses right before it. And that is because my aunt, she loved roses. My aunt, and when she passed away, she told me before she passed, whenever you smell roses, you know that I'm there, because she had her little small rose garden in her yard. She just loved them. But in every single one of them, I will smell roses. So it is interesting about that. It says, but if it appears a dog is smelling a ghost, there's likely a logical scientific explanation for it. She says, after my husband passed, our dog would often sit in my husband's favorite chair as if he could sense my husband's presence. And it's likely he could, just not necessarily in a paranormal way, but rather in the sense that my husband's scent still lingered on the chair's fabric. Well, that makes sense. Okay, so we can understand that part. So here's the question that a lot of people ask. Why do dogs' hair stand up on its end? Okay, well, next time your dog's hair seems to stand up on the end for no reason at all, it says here, take a look around and see if you can perceive the cause, suggests the doctor. Scientists have been investigating how dogs sense the world around them through their skin and, by extension, the movements of their hair. And it's well known that dogs can detect movement as well as temperature changes in many ways that humans cannot. Another amazing dog fact is that dogs can hear twice as many frequency as humans. That's true. According to Dr. Amendi, they can pick up sounds that are 4 times farther away than humans would be able to detect. So if ghosts exist, dogs could very well have a powerful sense of hearing, that they could recognize them by sound. That, you know what, that's true. I agree, Michelle, that is true. Because it's a different frequency. It's the same way, for example, when a human spirit, or even demonic, but a human spirit will interact with you, but you can't hear it at all. But you have a digital recorder and you play it back, and there's absolutely something there. No doubt about it, there's something there. But because that recorder is picking up a different frequency than our ears are able to detect. Now, if you can hear it, it's called a disembodied voice. But in this case, that's a very good point there. So I think that's right. So it says here, can dogs, that's an overwhelming evidence that dogs can hear, see, and smell things that we cannot. So if you believe in ghosts, the next time you see your pup acting oddly, it could be that it has in fact seen a ghost. And Robinette, the psychic crime solver, relayed the tale of a widow whose dog, Elmer, seemed to be in contact with her deceased husband. See, in the days following the funeral, Elmer would sleep on her late husband's side of the bed, laying his head on the pillow in an almost human way. As time went on, Elmer took to running to the front door in the evenings and playfully greeting an unseen visitor. And to the widow, it was as if her deceased husband were returning home. And according to Robinette, that is precisely what it may have been. Wow. That is very cool. That is very cool. I was watching this pastor, this preacher, saying that animals are not in heaven. And I'm thinking, dude, are you reading Revelation? Revelation makes it very, very clear that there will be animals in heaven. And I absolutely believe that our fur babies are angels without wings. And I just cannot fathom the idea that a heaven without our fur babies, that does not make any sense to me. That makes no sense whatsoever. And I believe that they will be. I just firmly disagree with that. Someone was asking me again about the heifers. That's a fair question. I did a video on the heifers on TikTok. Again, folks, the really whole point of the heifers is to sacrifice them and then place the ashes on an altar and to ultimately bring in the Messiah, to usher in the Messiah. But that's under the old covenant. So as I talked before, I'm under the new covenant as a Christian. And so therefore, I think that in the end, as a Christian, this is a Christian perspective, I don't think it's going to do anything because the Messiah has already came. So that's just my own personal opinion. All right. So anyway, hopefully that helps out a little bit, and because there's a lot of people asking about that. There was did you hear about this story? Listen to this. I have a lot of very cool articles that I got together for you guys. Listen to this. Yeah, listen to this, everybody. You all know about the infamous Skinwalker Ranch. Most people have at least heard about it. Well, this is from Jake Carter, and I didn't hear about this, though. A body has been found in the vicinity of the infamous Skinwalker Ranch. Oh, well, thank you there, Catholic. Yeah, it's a beautiful, I love it as well. Listen to this. The Unitah County Sheriff's Office reported the recovery of a deceased individual around February the 29th near the Skinwalker Ranch. So Chief Deputy Brian Fletcher confirmed the finding, stating, quote, "Our agency did locate a deceased individual south of Fort Duchesne. However, these circumstances are not suspicious, and no further information will be released out of respect for the family." So expanding the Frontiers research received information indicating that the body may have been found in the vicinity of 4500 East and 2800 South after an abandoned motorcycle was reported to the sheriff's office several months earlier. The motorcycle's discovery was reported on November the 24th, 2023. And according to an insider familiar with the incident, the deceased individual might have been in the area due to an interest in the purported paranormal phenomena linked to Skinwalker Ranch. And when asked about the possibility, Chief Deputy Fletcher declined to provide further details. A formal request was submitted to the County Sheriff's Office on Friday under the Utah Government Records Access and Management Act, seeking all incident reports and related documentation regarding the scenes and circumstances. The story is currently unfolding and updates will follow. Oh. Skinwalker Ranch is quite interesting. Oh, well, thank you there. I appreciate that, Chris. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that all of you guys are here. Welcome, 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 welcome. I appreciate you guys being here. I do think that's really interesting. Boy, I have not heard much about this before, but yeah. This is a very interesting. I wanted to pass on. Oh, well, what's the name of the site you want us to watch? Oh, you can watch me. Oh, Rumble. I'm sorry, Rumble. So what you can do, just go to my website, Bishop James Long, Long. So bishopjameslong.com. Bishop James Long, Long.com. And just scroll down to where it says social media links. And Rumble, I'm brand new on Rumble. So I appreciate Rumble. So I'm there. I'll be airing Rumble from now on, as well as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok, and Spreaker. Now, keep in mind also, if you're out and about and you just want to listen to the podcast, all of my shows, everything from the Bible study on Sundays and Wednesdays to Friday Paranormal Fridays and open mic, it's all on Spreaker, and it's all free. And all you have to do is just go to bishopjameslong.com, scroll down to where it says Spreaker, social media links. If you click Spreaker, you can choose, and even night prayers there. So you can choose. It's all. So please go there. If you're out and about, you just like listening to podcasts, there you are. Yeah, I'm enjoying. I love Rumble too, Jill, because Rumble allows you to stream using StreamYard. See, that's the problem. I wish that I could use StreamYard to connect to TikTok, but you can't. They won't allow third-party applications to connect to it, because then I could run everything just on one computer. So that's why I have to run a show separately on TikTok or on my iPad, because you can't connect it to StreamYard. But that's okay. We work through it. Oh, don't forget also, as I mentioned earlier, for those of you who are just tuning in, we will be going to a very cool haunted location. And thank you, and thank you, Judy Ann, for helping me and for getting me to get there. I am so excited about this. I really am excited. This will actually be the first time. This will be the first time that I will be doing a live show at a location on all these formats. So Ashmore Estates, I'm going to be live. I'll be on the location with about 50 investigators. And if you want to go to Ashmore, please do so. You can. They have tickets available. I don't know how many tickets are left. So I'm going to be there live, and then we'll run the show from like 7 o'clock till 8:50, like we normally do on Fridays. And then we'll log off on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We'll log off there, but we'll keep TikTok, because I can't run everything on this, because I have to take the whole computer with me. I can't do that. But I will be running it on TikTok. So that will be on this on the 19th, April 19th. Make sure you go to the website, theurbaninvestigator.com. If you want to be there live, theurbaninvestigator.com. And click on events. If you click on events, you will see Ashmore Estates right there. Scroll down, book now, get your tickets. This is going to be a lot of fun. I am so looking forward to that. So that's going to be the 19th. Okay. Oh, well, welcome, Mercedes. I'm glad you're here. Glad everyone's here. This is a haunted forest that allegedly the locals are terrifying the locals, because they say that they hear the cries of children. So I'm telling you, I've been to a lot of places, but this is interesting. So Florence Freeman wrote this. So inside the haunted forest, where terrified locals say that they hear the cries of children, UFOs, Black Panthers, and the ghost of a crying child are just a few of the paranormal sightings reported in this forest in the heart of the UK. Neighbors have long claimed Cannock Chase is haunted by mythical beings and creatures. For those of you in the UK, have you heard of this place? And let us know what you think about this. It's called Cannock, Cannock. Cannock Chase. If you live in the UK, tell us if this is true, because I would love to know what your thoughts are on this. But it's Cannock Chase is haunted by mythical beings and creatures, allegedly. The one being, which is said to haunt the forest, is the black-eyed child. Now, I've experienced black-eyed children before, and I was at a case where it was a demonic infestation case. It was very violent. It was kind of late at night. It was around midnight. And I was inside the house, and they have like a porch, but it's a screened-in porch. And so we were there and doing the blessing. We were taking a break, and these two kids walked right up to the door and started knocking. And there was kind of like a street light behind them, but it was dark. But I could still see them. And I went over there, and so someone went over there first, and they said, Bishop Long. What? So I went over there to these kids, and they said, can we come in? I said, well, where are your parents? Because they were kids. They looked like, to me, they were maybe 10, 12-year-old kids. I said, well, where are your parents? And they didn't answer. They said, can we come in? It's like, no, it's midnight. Why aren't you home? Where are your parents? Your parents know you're out. And they asked one more time, can we come in? And at this time, they were looking down, and she looked up, and I solid black eyes. So no, you're not allowed to come in. And as a matter of fact, I think we need to call the police, because it's midnight here. You guys, I don't know what's going on here. They just walked away. That was a crazy case that we worked there. So anyway, there's a black-eyed child that's said to be the ghost of a girl with black sunken eyes. References to the child go back to at least 1892, when the local newspaper ran a fictional story on a child with the same description. So other mystical creatures, well, thank you very much there, Sydney. Other mystical creatures include Pigman, half man and half pig, as well as Black Panthers, which were claimed to be released in the forest decades ago. Other sightings of UFOs and werewolves have also been reported. Charlotte, 30, who moved to the area in August, says she believes the sightings were just made up. I don't know. Tell me, guys, if you've been here, if you live in the UK, tell me. Well, that's kind of weird. So there's a drone picture. Let me see if I can get this picture. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can share this with you. Okay. There was a drone picture. One second. That's kind of weird. I've got to admit that's kind of cray-cray. Let me crop it for you so you guys can see this. Done. There we go. So I'm showing everybody that on TikTok, there's a drone picture here of this alleged child with black eyes, this little girl. That's really interesting. What do you guys think about that? See, I think that would be, like I said, there was one time I got to see the black-eyed children, and I was like, you know what, that's okay. Something's not, and that was really creepy when I saw that. So anyway, it says here, she told Birmingham Live, apparently there's some girl in the woods, my brother told me, and I quite often walk the dog around here, but I don't see anything, the person says. There's also a pigman. Pigman, everybody. It's like what it is about. So it's probably people going into the woods and doing drugs. And the people who made these stories up probably don't live around here, and I would like to know where they get it from. The only thing I've seen are squirrels. Okay. So William Prime, and as a spiritual, okay. So William Prime, 69, was open to the idea of mystical beings in the forest of Staffordshire in the Midlands. He said, I have been here for 4 years. I have never seen anything, but it's very interesting when you look at the history of Cannock Chase. Says, I'm not religious or anything. Is there an afterlife? Honestly, don't know. And William said he believed in the idea of a haunted forest after running a pub in Kent with his ex-wife, which was supposedly haunted. He added, our pub in Kent was supposed to have been haunted, and 2 little children were murdered there, apparently. He says, sometimes my staff would hear footsteps, etc. But I don't know, that drone picture is kind of creepy. I don't know. What do you guys think we should go? I think we need to do a field trip for our friends in the UK. You have to, well, I think they are. Katrina saying Katarina saying are the demons. I do. I do believe that they are, because the children, the two black-eyed kids that I saw, it was definitely it was the same feeling that I get when I'm in the presence of a person who's possessed. And you just know that feeling. You just you feel it. It's overwhelming. It's pretty powerful. So to me, I definitely think that there's something up with that. And even when it comes to ghost children, I'm not a big fan of the belief of ghost kids, because I just don't believe that God would allow a child who had passed away to linger. I think there has to be something in place. That I have a problem with believing that. That's beautiful, Jax. That's the first time I've seen that. Thank you. So listen to this. This is by Jake Carter as well. Monsterland in Massachusetts. It's a small forest, once again, with UFOs, Yetis, and glowing spheres. I've said this before. I do believe in Bigfoot. I absolutely believe there's something going on there. I do. In Massachusetts, USA, near the town of Leominster, There is a section of forest only 5 miles long, literally filled with supernatural things. Judy Ann, come on, let's go. Now, for decades, people have constantly reported sightings of glowing orbs, saucer-shaped UFOs, and huge, hairy Bigfoots. See, guys, here's the deal with Bigfoots. And here's the deal with investigating forest. That to me is a little bit more frightening than anything because of the wildlife, because you really don't know what you're going to come across. Huge, hairy Bigfoots. So it says also, it is very often unclear why cars break down all the time in that area, and some people disappear without a trace. Now, according to local residents, it all started back in the 19th century when hunters visiting the forest began to tell stories about a strange animal that was not like any ordinary animal. But the first reliably recorded case occurred only in the 1950s. Then one of the men came into the pub very excited and declared that he had just came face to face with a forest monster, and that he would now go to the forest again to hunt it and bring its carcass to the city. Now, he took the gun, he left, and no one saw him again. And when the police tried to find him, they only found his empty car on the outskirts of the city with his headlights on. And since then, the number of sightings of all kinds of oddities in the forest of Leominster has only increased. And in the end, this place was nicknamed Monster Land. And one of the hiking trails is appropriately named Spooky Forest Trail. Well, that's an interesting name, isn't it? Sometimes people get lucky and find evidence that Bigfoot actually lived there. There's a photo. You can Google this. There's a photo that actually shows the imprint of a large, huge humanoid creature's foot. And it was found in the forest in 2010. That's pretty cool. Ronnie LeBlanc, 66, who grew up near Leominster, is one of those who saw the forest monster with his own eyes. He was then only 11 years old, and from that day forward, he set himself the task of getting to the bottom of this phenomenon. He says, I think because these things happened to me personally, it created an obsession that I needed to know more about this. I understand that. According to LeBlanc, Bigfoot and glowing spheres are somehow closely related to each other. Although, there's a lot of people who say that. He says, because some eyewitnesses have been seeing hairy monsters holding such spheres in their paws. And LeBlanc says he has personally seen the flying balloons at least 9 times in recent years, and other residents saw them too, and some were captured even on video. Well, what do you think about that, guys? That's kind of crazy. I don't know. I just think there's something going on. I believe that we have. I just think we have too much, too much. And by the way, for those of you flying balloons, yeah. For those of you who believe in Bigfoot, this story is a little bit more, I guess, kooky. I believe in Bigfoot, but this one, I don't. Well, okay, let me just share it with you. This was, I got to give the author the credit where credit is due, but I don't see there it is. Michael Scott. So this is an article that he wrote. A Louisiana man says that he telepathically communicates with Bigfoot. Okay. A Sasquatch researcher who works in the central Louisiana area tells the Town Talk that there are Sasquatches among us. It's a matter of paying attention, he says. So for many years, there have been numerous claims of people seeing a Bigfoot or Sasquatch in the Alexandria area in this forest. Now, one researcher says that it is all true. And in a recent interview with Alexandria's Town Talk, a Sasquatch researcher tells reporters that there are indeed Sasquatch in this forest and says that he's communicating with them telepathically. So the researcher chose not to disclose his real name, going on by Claude in his recent interview, the Daily Town Talk. He claims that there are Sasquatches all over Louisiana, which I believe. It's just a matter of paying attention, and you actually see one. Claude says he can sense when a Sasquatch is around. And he tells the Town Talk that he has been communicating telepathically with several Sasquatches for years. He says, quote, For several years, Claude has been communicating with a few of them telepathically. Like the Sasquatches, he finds peace and healing being out in the forest where he loves to camp. They talk about all kinds of things, including who they are, where they're from, and what their lifestyle is like. The anonymous researcher says that Sasquatch are extremely intelligent and have been keen forest senses like a deer or a bear, in addition to a very human side. It's very rational. Claude says the Sasquatch refers to themselves as people and actually feel that the term Bigfoot is derogatory. He says that his first telepathic encounter with a female Sasquatch who initiated contact with him. The female Sasquatch telepathically said, "Don't come in here," as he approached an area in the forest where she was nursing her young. Claude claims that he asked her why she had not communicated with him sooner and tells the town talk that this was her answer. Because your mind is too busy. From the time humans wake up until the time they go to sleep at night, their minds are constantly in motion. You wake up thinking about what you didn't do yesterday, what you need to do today, and just snowballs. It just gives us a headache. We don't do that. We don't have to. Okay. You know what? Hey, so this person can communicate with a female Sasquatch that's nursing her young. Look, I'm an open-minded kind of a guy, but I don't know about this one. Yeah, they have a complex about it. Yeah, don't call him Bigfoot. That's I don't. Anyway, hey, you know what? It's all good. It's all good. But I think that's a little bit, probably a little bit too much kookiness. But okay, so here's another one. Now I have seen these things before. I've been to a place that's supposed to be a haunted playground, and I've absolutely seen activity, really strange activity. This is by Bradley Jolly, who's a news reporter. Brian Ramburn and his wife Yaj watched in fright for minutes as the swing in a playground appeared to move by itself at the playground near their home in South Africa. Mysterious footage captures a ghost of a child playing on a moving swing in a park. Brian Ramburin's family was disturbed to watch back the clip, in which two swings appear to sway, as if a kid was sitting on them. One swings much higher than the one next to it, despite nobody being in the playground, when the footage zooms out. So if you want to check this out, this is in Centurion, South Africa. So if you Google a ghost child playground, Centurion, South Africa, I've seen the video. It is pretty interesting. So it's a Centurion, Centurion, South Africa. So just type in ghost child Centurion, South Africa. So Brian's 4-year-old daughter, Sanvi, can be heard asking, "How does it do that? I'm so scared." And while his stunned 9-year-old son, Kartik, says it's swinging by itself. So the clip was taken at a park near their family's home in Centurion, South Africa, and after which Brian's wife, Yaj, 34, was too scared to walk over and investigate the mystery. Brian, 35, is heard telling his wife, "There are no children. We would have seen them walking." The baffled family watched for 20 minutes and posted the video of the paranormal activity on Facebook, where it led to a lively discussion. Take a look at that. Seriously, as a matter of fact, let me Google this real quick and see if it's easier to find. So I'm going to type in ghost child, Centurion, South Africa. There we go. Yep, there it is. Yep, mine popped up as far as YouTube. I just typed in ghost child Centurion, Centurion, South Africa, and if you click on YouTube, yeah, there it is. It is. One. That's interesting. Oh, yeah, that's guys. You might want to take a look at that because people say that it was just wind, but the problem is they're so close together that you would think that both of them would be swinging at the same, at least the same height, but they're not. They're absolutely not. So I'd be curious. I'd be curious if you took a look at that. It is Ghost Child Centurion, South Africa. If you Google that, my video on YouTube popped up. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So who knows? But I think it's pretty fascinating when you see something like that. Certainly, could someone had hit it? Well, yeah, I guess they could have, but I don't know. Pretty neat. How many of you guys believe in past life regression? I'm really curious about what your thoughts are on this. What are your thoughts? Past life regression. Do you believe that? Oh, you do. Okay, so there's so yes. Okay, so Judy said no. There's 2 yes, maybe. Eric says yes. Well, listen. Here, let me show you. Let me share something with you and see what you guys think. This is by trying to figure out who wrote this. Well, the photo is Mark Williams. But it says here, past life regression is a technique that aims to help individuals explore memories that are believed to be from lives they lived before their current one. And this is archived with the guidance of a practitioner using hypnosis or meditation techniques, who leads the individual in a relaxed trance-like state. Participants might recall specific details such as locations, historical periods, personal relationships that they associate with these previous existences. Now, the technique primarily uses hypnosis to induce a very deep state of relaxation and altered consciousness. Now, this state is believed to allow individuals to access memories from past lives that are not usually accessible in their normal conscious state. Some past life regressionists claim that individuals can even recall past lives as animals. Now, see, I have a problem with that. See, I have a problem with that. If people, okay, so people are going to believe in past lives. I'll listen to that debate. But as animals, no. I can't go there. We are two very different essences. Our souls are two very different. So I can't buy that. So there's the belief of underpinning the technique is that the soul or consciousness can transcend physical death. Okay, I believe that. When a person passes, their consciousness leaves the body, but retains the experiences, emotions, and memories from that life. I believe that. When the consciousness reincarnates into a new body, it carries these memories with it. However, the memories from past lives are usually not accessible to the conscious mind and remain in the subconscious. And during past life regression, these hidden memories can be brought to the surface through deep meditation or hypnosis. So, okay, my father was a hypnotist. He regressed my mother privately with no audience as an experiment. Wow. What happened? Is it Catherine? What happened to this? What happened to the... I would love to know what he uncovered. So, past life regression as a concept can be traced back to ancient beliefs in reincarnation and karma, particularly in Hinduism and Buddhism. However, it gained popularity in the West in the 20th century, influenced by psychotherapy practices and New Age spirituality. Yeah, you need to for quit smoking. Yeah, What did you? I'd love to know what your mom recalled. Now, here's what's very interesting. I went. This is really interesting. So many years ago, I think it was probably 15 years ago, I went to a paranormal conference. And I knew this one psychic, and also she did past life regressions. And I knew her as an acquaintance. We didn't really know as far as each other as friendship. So I sat there and I sat down on the chair and I talked to her and just kind of caught up with her and say, how you doing? Are you doing okay? Is there anything I could do? Anything I can help you with? Or that kind of, just small talk. And she said, James, I don't know if anyone's ever told you, but do you realize that you were there at Jesus' crucifixion? Like, what are you talking about? Jesus, that was 2,000 years ago. What are you talking about? She said, you had a past life. You were a Roman soldier. You were there. You were present. I said, great. So you're telling me that I was a participant of She said, no, you didn't participate in it, but you were there. You saw it and you believed that Jesus was Messiah. And I thought, okay, I appreciate you. Okay, good luck to you, and see you later. Well, I can't explain this, but I went to, and this was in a Scarefest. So Scarefest in Kentucky is huge. It was a big place. So I went to a completely different section on the opposite room, totally opposite room. And I was talking to somebody, and there was another person who was a psychic and did past life regressions things. And I was talking to a friend of mine. I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was Zach. I don't remember. But anyway, I caught her eye and she caught mine, and she said, come here for a sec. So I walked over to her. I said, yep, can I help you? She said, for some reason I'm getting a message that you have lived, you are a Roman soldier in your previous life. Now, then I'm thinking, now, wait a minute. Am I being conned here? Or am I being punked? Because that's exactly what she said. She said, you were a Roman soldier. And she said, I definitely see you as a Roman soldier. And I definitely see you in the time of Christ. That's all she said. Now, I have no idea. Now, could it be that one person, an acquaintance picked up, maybe they knew each other. Hey, why don't you tell Bishop Long this? I don't know. So that was my first thought, unfortunately. But the person that I knew, that kind of like not a friend, an acquaintance, I just didn't think that she would do something like that. I just didn't, because she's not that type of person. She's not a con artist. That was really strange. That was very, very strange. But I remember that I didn't know. I just didn't know if they were punking me, if they were just, I didn't know. But I can't explain that. So anyway, it says that today it has been found a place in some paranormal investigation, particularly those that delve deeper into the personal histories and backgrounds of the individuals involved, or the histories of the locations themselves. Right. Now, it says here, integrating past life regression into a ghost hunting primarily aims to uncover any potential connections between the homeowner or the participants of the land or property. Do you guys believe this? I don't know. False information. I'm sorry. I have no idea what you're talking about. I swear I complain you talking false information. I am sorry. Stop about me. You don't like me. That's it. I have no idea what you're talking about, Malet. I don't know you'll have to help me understand that one. So I don't know what they mean. I don't know what you mean, Malet. You'll have to explain that to me. It's not candy. It's cough drops. Yeah, Malet, you'll have to explain that, because I don't know if that was for me or for someone else. I'm Catholic. Okay, that's great. I'm Catholic too. But I don't know what you mean by your comment. You'll have to explain that. Yeah, Ricola. It's good for the cough drops, because in Kentucky, allergies are terrible here. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Here's an article. If you're investigating, this is something that I thought I'd pass on to you. So you're saying she blocked me. I don't know who I don't know who you're talking to. No one blocked you. So Malet, if you're blocked, how are you talking to me? So I don't know what you're referring to. Okay, listen, Malet. Malet, we're having a conversation right now. So that means I didn't block you. Because if I blocked you, we wouldn't be having a conversation. So, because I wouldn't be able to see your comments. So I'm confused. You'll have to explain. Okay. All right. Uh, this is a really cool article, and I want to pass this on to you as well. This is every ghost hunter should read this guide to investigating haunted houses. So the primary role of a paranormal investigator should be to validate reports of paranormal activity and to obtain meaningful evidence. So in the early days of physical research, researchers like Hereward Carrington invented devices specifically designed to detect and measure certain types of paranormal phenomena. So here's a couple things that you might want to know. Learn about the reported phenomenon. That's the first thing. Yep, I agree. It says before you investigate the property, do some research, speak to the people who live or work there, find out exactly what it is that they're experiencing and what times of the day. There's no point of holding an all-night vigil if the house is very active in the day but falls silent at night. Absolutely. It says you'll need to know exactly in what parts of the house the activity occurs and what form this activity takes. Then you'll be able to shape the investigation. Below are here some commonly reported phenomena and some methods that you might try to validate them, but before you get to the point, you'll need to lock down that location. And that's absolutely important. So lock down and put controls in place. It's always best to try to investigate any reported paranormal activity in controlled conditions. So it's important to lock down the building. Yes. And this doesn't mean making sure that no one inside and everyone is accounted for, although this is vitally important. It also means turning off as much electrical equipment as you can, including Wi-Fi routers, central heating, air conditioning, anything with moving or mechanical parts, such as ventilation, fridges, washing machines, pumps. If possible, cut all power if you can. That's pretty extreme, but I understand why they're doing it, because sometimes it can interfere with your equipment. Plan your investigation. So if you're going to investigate, plan it. Below, there's some tips on advice on planning experiments to validate hauntings by focusing on specific aspects of the paranormal activity reported at the house. So investigate phantom footsteps. One of the most commonly reported occurrences in a haunting is the sound of disembodied footsteps. These sounds can occur at any time in a haunted location or during a paranormal investigation. It can be thrilling to hear heavy footsteps coming from the floor above you or walking around you, but experiencing it doesn't gain you any meaningful data. Yep. Since footsteps can occur in adjoining and empty parts of the building, there's no real requirement for you or any member of your team to be in the property in order to capture footsteps. What a lot of people do is put salt. They'll put salt or they'll put powder, especially powder, in areas that are allegedly are supposed to have a lot of footprints. And there's been cases where I've talked to other paranormal investigators where they've heard footprints or footsteps, and they put powder, and they come back and they can see footprints, and they know that they were the only one in there. So that's pretty cool. This is another device is called direct voice phenomenon. That's DVP. But it's similar to the better known electronic voice phenomenon. However, in haunting cases of DVP are the most frequently reported of two, the obvious reasons being that a DVP is a voice heard audible. Well, that's technically called a disembodied voice. So, yeah, and those are rare when you're actually to hear them. Investigate sightings of apparitions. So during most paranormal investigations, the first thing investigators do is make sure the location is in total darkness. Okay. While it can be beneficial to cut all electricity to a building you're investigating, it's not always the best practice to kill all the lights, especially if you're on the hunt for apparitions. Actually, you got to be very careful with that. When you're investigating and you turn off all the lights, if you're not familiar with the area, I always tell people, go there during the day first. You really have to go there during the day. And a big problem, I'm going to FBI. I have no idea what you're talking about, Millette. Who are you? Why are you? Your false doctor result. Okay, well, why? I'm confused, Millette. We're talking a paranormal show tonight. I don't know who your doctor is. I have no idea what you're. Millette, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Investigating light anomalies. Okay. Hey, Millette, you're going to have to. Okay. Yeah, 1 second here, because I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm trying to understand and trying to be sympathetic, but you're not giving me any information except for you're a human being. I see that you're a human being. I see that you're a human being because you're talking, and that's good. That's good. Okay. Um, where was I saying? Light anomalies. Every time people talk about orbs, folks, 9 times out of 10, orbs are dust particles. They can be explained, or they're bugs. Really, honestly, the majority of time they can be explained 100%. Now there are some cases that are pretty interesting, but for the most part, I have found that they can be explained. A lot of people like orbs. I remember I talked to you guys about this before. Oh, she may have been on TikTok. I don't know. See, you have to understand. That's why I have moderators. The moderators, if someone is in there and they're rude or disrespectful, yeah, they're going to be muted. Yep. And because the moderators don't put up with that silliness and that nonsense. And neither do I. So if somebody's on TikTok and they're trolling and being disrespectful, then yep, they're going to be muted. Absolutely. Absolutely. And as well as they should be. Because if they're going to come in here and trolling and be rude or disrespectful, they should be blocked. So, yep. Investigating temperature fluctuations. This does happen. And I have had many times cases where this occurred. And just like that fluctuation I was talking to you about earlier, that really, I'm telling you, from 95 to 65. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Master Matt. I agree. But pretty cool. Okay, so let's kind of share a couple of things. There's a woman. I want to pass this on to you guys and see what you think about this one. That's right, Sister Jennifer. There is a woman here. This is by Zoe Mitchell. An Argentinian woman is claiming now to have the gift of healing. So obviously my spidey senses are, well, thank you very much. Thank you. They're definitely up here. They're elevated. So it's Argentinian 44-year-old Lida Berganzi, known as the healer of Rosario, is gaining popularity, having become a well-known healer in the country. The former seamstress and mother of 5 children won the attention not only of her compatriots, but also the Catholic Church in Argentina. So Argentina's history is rich in religious healers, but none have achieved such heights as Lida Berganzi. So you guys can check that out. As an ordinary woman, she realized that she had the gift of healing from God and decided to use it for charitable purposes. Okay, all right, here we go. The Catholic Church supports her, calling the healer Rosario phenomenon part of the internal movement within the church. Wow. And Lida stands out not only for her unusual gift, but also for her informal clothing style. Skinny jeans, t-shirts, high-top sneakers make her recognizable. She attracts crowds, spending her days in the hometown of Rosario, healing people from ailments ranging from paralysis to cancer. Her meetings resemble evangelistic services with music, blessings, and miracles. However, this is not just a show. Hundreds of testimonies of people she has healed, and the support of the Catholic Church give Lida credibility. It attracts not only practicing Catholics, but also those who have long departed from the faith. Every week, listen to this, up to 20,000 people. Every week, 20,000 people flock to Rosario to receive Lida's blessings. Lines for her events sometimes exceed a mile long, and people are willing to wait for more than 12 hours to see healer Rosario. In addition to her singing, which is rumored to have a healing effect, Lida touches the forehead of the afflicted, saying something mysterious, and the consequences of this are varied from inner peace to even fainting. And there was a 21-year-old woman who was paralyzed, and the 66-year-old former truck driver who lost his voice 2 years ago, a 56-year-old woman who gradually lost his vision. And they rode buses from all across the country, camped out overnight, and waited for hours and hours in line. Then one by one, on crutches and wheelchairs, holding babies and carrying photographs of relatives far away, they approached the woman they hoped would heal them. One by one, they started to faint. At the front of a packed warehouse, 44-year-old Leda Bergonzi. By the way, her name is Leda and Bergonzi, Bergonzi. That's where you can check that out. Leda Bergonzi placed her hand on each one of their foreheads and whispered into their ears. And as she blessed them, some grabbed onto her, sobbing uncontrollably. Others collapsed into her arms or dropped on the concrete floor. And members of her team stood by, ready to catch them as they fell. So she said, I told myself I'll go with all my faith and give it a try, said Jorge Fernandez, a 56-year-old former bricklayer who lost his vision after a traffic accident in 2019 and had traveled to Bergonzi's ceremony for the 6th time. Thanks to God and Leda's touch, I started seeing again, reports the WashingtonPost.com. Leda Bergonzi travels through the countries of South America, attracting the attention of not only believers, but also the curious. She is frugal with her finances and donates food to those in need. And Leda says she is simply following God's call. Well, that's just interesting, isn't it? You might have to, Troy, you might have to clear your history because I got rid of the Instagram one. So let me just double check here. Oh, yeah, let me double check, make sure. Rumble. Oh, yeah, I got to change the Rumble thing. I got to change the picture. But if it goes to, I'll have to change. Thanks for letting me know. But it says here, Bishop Long's official Rumble account. This is Bishop Long's official. I got to change that. Yeah. So thanks for letting me know. I'll fix that. But isn't that interesting? Wow. So again, this is Leda, Leda Bergonzi, Bergonzi. Well, so that to me is that's pretty cool. I'm going to have to do some research on this one because I'm going to put this one over here because that to me I think I mean I can't say just because. Well, I don't know. I mean, she has the backing of the Catholic Church. They really kind of look for that and make sure that this is not fraud because they don't want to obviously have pie in their face. But this is a story, folks. People will do some of the dumbest things in the world. Well, listen, this is by Oddity Central. A couple of Taiwanese university students are being accused of faking frostbite injuries that eventually warranted a double amputation to defraud the insurance companies. Taiwan Criminal Investigation Bureau has accused a university student, surnamed Chang, of conspiring with a former high school colleague named Lau to orchestrate a bizarre insurance fraud in January of last year. Evidence presented to prosecutors show that in early January of last year, Chang took out policies covering disabilities, injuries, health, and travel safety from at least 5 insurers. On the night of January 26th, both Chang and Lau rode their motorcycles through Taipei to make it seem like one of them suffered frostbite because of the cold weather. In reality, the frostbite was self-inflicted and caused by a bucket of dry ice. Chang and Lau hope to pocket around 40 million TWD, which is $1.2 million, from the insurance policies they had taken out. But in order to do that, one of them had to make a very tough choice. And after discussing the best course of action, Chang agreed to give up both his legs for a slightly bigger piece of the pie. So he had to soak his feet in a bucket of dry ice for more than 10 hours. And agreed to be tied to a chair by Lau to ensure that he put up with a grueling pain. And on January the 28th, after 10 hours of soaking his legs in dry ice, Chang had to be hospitalized. And because doctors could no longer save his lower limbs, he suffered a double below the knee amputation. And he filed insurance claims almost immediately after being discharged. And he actually got paid $7,240 by one insurer, but the rest decided to investigate the case. See, the unusual number of insurance policies taken out in such a short period of time and the circumstances of Chang's frostbite injuries were considered suspicious, you think, by insurance companies, some of which reported the case to the local authorities. And during the investigation that followed, prosecutors found that Chang had unusually symmetrical injuries that lacked an imprint from his shoes or socks. And while checking the weather on January 26th, by the way, the night that the frostbite injuries allegedly occurred, the temperatures ranged from 6 degrees Celsius to 17 degrees Celsius, far from cold enough to cause frostbite. And while checking the two young men's homes, authorities found insurance documents, medical records, as well as a styrofoam box in which dry ice had been stored. On March the 14th, both men were charged with fraud, but Lau was also charged for causing his friend serious physical injuries. People, you okay? You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah, sometimes you just have to, crazy. You know, some people, we're going to close here pretty soon. Listen to this one. Some people have the strangest luck, the best luck. You know, I'll admit sometimes I'll play the lottery. You know, I played $2, $2 whopping dollars on the Powerball. I mean, it's over $1 billion right now, and I can't even get one number. But a Michigan man, this is by Ben Hooper, a Michigan man wins $110,000 lottery for the second time in 6 months. $110,000 lottery. The second time within just 6 months. So a Michigan man claimed 110,000 Fantasy 5 double play lottery jackpot. So that's what I got to play. Fantasy 5 double play lottery jackpot for the second time within 6 months. The 59-year-old Wayne County man told Michigan lottery officials that he bought a ticket on February 11th, Fantasy 5 double play drawing at the BP gas station on West 9 Mile Road in Southfield. The man who previously won a $110,000 prize from the August 31st, 2023 Fantasy 5 double play drawing selected the same numbers for his ticket. And after winning $110,000 back in August, he said, I switched up the Fantasy 5 numbers and I took my tickets to the store to check and replay them. The clerk scanned the tickets and handed me one back and said, I think you won big. He's like, there's no way. I can't be that lucky. I looked up the winning numbers and sure enough, I had won again. Couldn't believe it. Said winning is such a blessing. The winner said he is still deciding how to spend his second $110,000 prize. Well, you have a difficult time, don't you, mister? Oh, my goodness. I wish I had that problem. I'm having a difficult time. I'm still trying to decide how I'm going to spend my $110,000. Let me have that problem. Man, that's great. He said, the first time I won, I was able to pay off all my debts. And now I get to have some fun. He said, I don't have any special plans for the money yet. I plan to sit back, just look at it in the bank account for a while. He said, well, good for you. That is wonderful. Hey, you know what? I think that's fantastic. But but you think that's big. Listen to this one. There's another person. I don't know where I'm going to have to rub off some good luck or something. This is from Ben Hooper as well. A Virginia woman scored a $1 million jackpot from a scratch-off ticket just 3 years after collecting a $100,000 lottery prize. Gaylor Gushard of Smithfield told Virginia lottery officials she bought her Virginia Million scratch-off ticket at the Raceway Station on Carrollton Boulevard in Isle of Wight County and caused a scene when she scratched off the $1 million prize. Well, I bet so. She said, I just kind of screamed. We were all in there screaming. She said the ruckus caused people to rush into the store from outside to ask what was wrong. We said nothing, and we just got really quiet, she said. And Gusher previously collected a $100,000 prize from the Virginia's New Year Millionaire raffle in 2021. The winner did not say if she has any immediate plans for her latest winnings. You're right. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Sign it immediately. Sign that thing immediately. Because something like that, you got to make sure, because I'm telling you, someone grabs it or takes it, or you just, no. Okay, yeah. So we'll just, we're going to close here on this one. Listen to this story. I can't imagine this to me. This is kind of terrifying to me. I wouldn't like this. I'd rather deal with the with an exorcism. This lottery tonight is worth $1.3 billion. Well, I'm going to have to call my 1-800-GOD phone and use my God phone and say, hey, come on, throw some blessings down here. Take care of all my friends and family. You know what I mean? But listen to this. A brave swimmer broke a world record when she went free diving under the ice for a distance of 459 feet. That would be terrifying to me. Valentina Cafola, 27, donned a bright orange wetsuit and motivated to diving under the ice in Italy. She previously set the record for under ice free diving without oxygen in 2017, but her record was beaten by a Japanese athlete with a 413-foot swim. So Cafola, who holds both Italian and Croatian citizenship, retook the record just 36 hours after her old record was defeated. The World Underwater Federation announced. I didn't even know there was a World Underwater Federation, but apparently there is. So can you imagine holding your breath for 459 feet? The idea terrifies me, because when if you get a little anxious or something and you got to get up for breath, you're under the ice. You can't. I would not like that. No, I would not like that at all. For those of you on Spreaker, I'm going to say goodnight to you guys. I want to remind everybody that tomorrow we're going to be here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and for our Bible study. And you're all invited. We'd love to have you. So please consider joining us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of you on X or Twitter, I'm going to say goodnight to you guys, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. right here. All right, and there's that. For those of you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, I tell you all the time, or Twitter, TikTok, that your value does not decrease based on someone's inability or refusal to see your worth. Folks, you're priceless, and never let anybody tell you otherwise. Oh, Catherine, you found your cat, Sophie. Well, praise God. Catherine has been looking for her cat, Sophie, for a long, long time. And now, Kathy, that's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful news. Thank you, Billy. Thank you. So for those of you on Facebook, YouTube, on Rumble, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Bible study. God bless everybody.